As Donna worries that Eric's stress is driving him to the grave, Ridge barges in, shocked Eric's been designing. Donna sobs when Eric has breathing problems. Today on Bold and the Beautiful, Eric begins to have a breathing occasion, and Donna attempts to get him to go to the sanitarium. Concerned about his stress situations, Donna prompted Eric to stop designing while Eric's croaker violated HIPAA. Brooke is in the office with Ridge as he sketches. She shows him the interview that Katie did for Eye on Fashion where she goes on and on about her riddle designer. Ridge admires the hype but dubites they can live up to it. He worries about his pater's stress situations. They need to find out where the pressure is coming from. Brooke is sure there must be a way to find out what's going on. He muses on how his father erected the company and was always there. Now he's sheltered and doesn't feel to do anything. So why is he stressed? Ridge tries texting his father again but gets no response. He decides to go and check on him at home and she insists on going along with him. At home, Eric gets frustrated sketching. Donna comes down and suggests she slip into her bikini and they go to the pool to eat kale. He can't take a break and needs to finish his designs. Donna reminds him he needs to tell her family he can't go through with this line. She reminds him he admitted he'd rather be in the office with Ridge than doing this. He knows. He's having alternate studies about working for Katie. Ridge gave him authorization to return to Forrester whenever he wanted. That was an insult. She assures him he's still and youthful and sexy 80. Eric went to Katie to prove he still has commodity to offer. His designs may be beautiful, but Bill is compromising them. As he wonders how he let effects go this far, his breath gets short and he has to sit. She keeps reminding him of all the pressure he's under and how important damage this could to the family. She urges him to back out and he repeats he can't. Heaving, he clutches his casket. Donna wants to call the croaker, but he insists he's forfeiture. He promises she won't lose him. Eric admits he no way envisaged his life like this, separated from his family and company. He's still angry and Ridge and still has a lot to give. Donna knows but he's taking on too important and she's spooked for him. Ridge and Brooke show up and he's surprised to see she's been designing. He asks what's going on at Spencer. Katie assures Bill that Eric will come through for them. He worries about the deadlines and costs. They need to light a fire under Eric. Katie can't handle anything passing to him. Bill is eager to see the dressmaker's head explode. But right now he needs Eric to get the line out. They talk about how hard it's for Eric to acclimate to the new situation. Bill knows they're lucky to have him but they can't coddle him. Katie reminds him that family connections are also at stake. She doesn't want Eric to feel like they're letting him down. He says they haven't made any unreasonable demands and they should give in to Eric's vagrancies. Katie thinks they can find some middle ground. Bill reminds her they didn't force this on Eric. He can't relax off. They need the line immediately. They debate delaying the launch and Bill suggests that Eric may have had alternate studies. Eric wanted to educate Ridge's assignment for treating him like a reactionary, but may not want that presently. He doesn't want Katie caught in the middle of this. On a tense and emotionally charged occasion of the Bold and the Beautiful, the fragile balance within the Forrester family begins to crack as Eric Forrester's grim drive collides with his declining health, leaving Donna alarmed that the man she loves is literally working himself into the grave. The drama unfolds in Los Angeles, where ambition, heritage, and pride intertwine in ways that are both inspiring and deeply destructive. Eric, once the insuperable primogenitor who erected a fashion conglomerate from the ground up, now finds himself in a battle not only with assiduity prospects but with his own body. And as those closest to him begin to see the warning signs, it may formally be too late to stop the storm. At the Forrester manse, sun pollutants through altitudinous windows, illuminating Eric's drafting table where sketches are scattered in controlled chaos. His hand trembles slightly as he draws, but his determination is smooth. The room is filled with the quiet intensity of a man hopeless to prove he still matters. Donna watches from the doorway, her heart heavy. She has seen the subtle signs, the labored breathing, the restless nights, the flashes of frustration that give way to prostration. She knows Eric better than anyone. Beneath the confident surface is a man visited by the fear of getting inapplicable. Donna approaches gently, trying to lighten the mood. She suggests they take a break, maybe a syncope, some fresh air, a healthy lunch by the pool. She indeed jokes about slipping into her bikini, hoping to draw a smile from him. For a moment his eyes soften. But also the pressure returns. He insists he cannot stop. The line must be finished. Deadlines impend. Prospects mount. He has commodity to prove to himself, to Ridge, to the world. Meanwhile at Forrester Creations, Ridge is at his office sketching when Brooke walks in holding a tablet. She has just watched Katie's glowing interview on Ion Fashion, where Katie madly praises Eric as a riddle developer poised to shake up the fashion world. Ridge listens precisely disaccorded. On one hand he admires the hype. On the other, he feels a eating concern. Can Eric truly deliver under this pressure? More importantly, should he have to? Brooke senses Ridge's solicitude. She reminds him that Eric has always been the backbone of the company, the visionary who turned dreams into reality. Yet commodity feels off. Why would Eric leave the comfort of his own company, where he was ate back at any time, to take on similar stress away? Ridge admits that offering Eric open authorization to return may have felt like impersonality, like pity. For a man of Eric's pride, that would soak deeply. Back at the manse, Eric's breathing grows shallow as frustration mounts over a design he cannot perfect. His pencil drops from his hand. He grips the edge of the table, casket tightening. Donna rushes to his side as he struggles for air. Fear cataracts her face. She begs him to let her call the croaker. But Eric swells her off, averring it's nothing further than fatigue. He promises she won't lose him. The words sound stalwart but concave. Donna's gashes fall freely now. She reminds him of the family depending on him, the damage the stress could beget. She recalls his admission that he'd rather be at Forrester with Ridge than entangled in this high-stakes cooperation. Eric's jaw tightens. He confesses he went to Katie and Bill to prove he still had value, that he wasn't just a relic of the history. His designs may be beautiful, but he feels compromised. Bill's commercial demands disaccord with his cultural soul. Nearly along the way, the passion turned into pressure. Across city at Spencer Publications, Katie tries to assure Bill that Eric will come through. Bill, ever realistic, worries about deadlines and fiscal counteraccusations. He needs results. He wants the line launched on time. He indeed jokes about wanting to see the dressmaker's head explode, a comment that reveals his desirousness. Katie pushes back, reminding him that Eric isn't just in hand, he's family. Emotional ties complicate everything. Bill argues they haven't made unreasonable demands. Eric chose this challenge. But Katie senses commodity shifting. Maybe Eric's provocation to educate Ridge's assignment has faded. Perhaps the real cost of this contest is getting too high. She doesn't want to be caught in the crossfire of pride and heritage. The pressure heights when Ridge and Brooke arrive suddenly at the manse. They find Eric still sketching, pale and visibly strained. Ridge is stupefied. He allowed. His father might be resting. Rather, he sees a man pushing himself beyond limits. The air is thick with implied allegations. Ridge asks what's going on. Donna looks at him, eyes red from crying, quietly contending for help. Eric straightens, masking weakness with defiance. He insists he's forfeiture. Ridge steps closer, noticing the earthquake in his father's hand. Brooke gently suggests he decelerate down. But Eric bristles. He refuses to be treated like an invalid. He erected Forrester Creations from nothing. He endured decades of competition and extremity. He'll not fade still. Yet the reality is inarguable. His breathing grows uneven again. This time Ridge sees it easily. The insurmountable primogeniture is vulnerable. The son who formerly mutinied now feels a swell of protectiveness. He doesn't want to lose his father, not over a fashion line, not over pride. Donna eventually speaks, voice breaking. She confesses her fear that the stress is killing him. The words hang in the room like a verdict. Ridge's expression shifts from shock to guilt. Has their contest pushed Eric to this point? Has his need to assert control inadvertently wounded the very man who tutored him everything? As the family stands united in concern, Eric's stubborn resoluteness begins to falter. He admits he no way envisaged his life separated from his company and family. Wrathfulness fueled his decision to work away. But wrathfulness is a poor foundation for health. He still believes he has much to give, but maybe not at this cost. The occasion closes on an image of query. The sketches remain untreated. Deadlines approach. Bill waits impatiently. Katie worries. Rich questions his part in this unraveling. And Donna clings to hope that love can triumph over pride. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, fashion may be glamorous, but the true fabric of the story is family. Heritage is both a gift and a burden. Eric Forrester's struggle isn't simply about designs or deadlines, it's about identity. Who's he if he's not the visionary leader? Who does he become if his health forces him to step back? As the emotional shock of that battle lingers, the atmosphere inside the Forrester manse shifts from defiance to dread. In this indelible durability of the bold and the beautiful, the cracks in Eric Forrester's armor widen, revealing not just physical fragility but emotional injuries that have been spoiling for times. Ridge stands frozen, watching his father struggle to maintain countenance. For so long, Eric has been larger than life, the primogenitor, the visionary, the guiding force behind every triumph at Forrester Creations. But the man before him now looks lower ever, lowered not in quality but in strength. Donna's hand remains forcefully on Eric's arm, as though she fears he might collapse the moment she lets go. Brooke senses the volatility in the room. She knows pride when she sees it. She's watched Ridge scuffle with it for decades. And what she sees now in Eric is a reflection of that same stubborn fire. But this isn't a boardroom power struggle. This is life and death. Ridge eventually breaks the silence. He asks directly whether Eric has seen a croaker. Donna hesitates, glancing at Eric before answering. Yes, he has. And the croaker advised him about stress. Advised him that pushing himself too hard could spark serious complications. Ridge's jaw tightens. That information changes everything. Eric bristles at the recrimination that he's unable of managing his own health. He insists the croaker exaggerated, that he knows his own body, that he's lived a full, strong life and isn't about to start retreating now. But indeed, as he speaks, his breath falters slightly, betraying him. Donna cannot stay quiet any longer. Through gashes, she admits that the croaker bared further than Eric wanted participated. She reveals that Eric's condition isn't just about fatigue. It's about a progressive respiratory issue worsened by stress. The room goes silent again, heavier this time. Ridge looks shaken. He no way imagined effects were this serious. All this time he allowed. Eric was simply contending, trying to prove a point. He didn't realize his father was risking everything to do so. Eric feels cornered. The disclosure feels like a treason. He accuses Donna of overpassing, of treating him like a case rather of a mate. Donna fires back with raw emotion. She would rather endure his wrathfulness than plan his burial. Brooke weighs in gently, reminding Eric that strength isn't defined by how important pressure bone can endure. Occasionally strength is knowing when to let others help carry the weight. Meanwhile, at Spencer Publications, pressure brews in a different form. Bill grows decreasingly intolerant as reports show product timelines slipping. He calls Katie into his office, frustration etched across his face. Investors are asking questions. Marketing juggernauts are listed. The fashion world is anticipating a reveal that may not be ready. Katie tries formally further to reason with him. She tells Bill that Eric isn't just another developer on payroll. He's a legend. He deserves respect and understanding. Bill counters that respect doesn't pay manufacturing costs. But indeed, Bill cannot ignore the growing rumors that commodity may be wrong. Sidekicks brood about Eric missing calls. Suppliers complain about inconsistent direction. The pressure is mounting. The coming morning dawns still over Los Angeles, but inside the Forrester manse, the silence feels fragile, like glass that could shatter with one wrong word. The events of the former night still hang heavy in the air. Donna slightly slept. Every time Eric shifted beside her, she jolted awake, alarmed that his breathing had stopped. In the soft Argentine light, she watches him now. He looks peaceful, but there's a vulnerability in his stillness that unsettles her. For decades, Eric Forrester has been the steady foundation of their world. Seeing him lowered, indeed slightly, feels unnatural. Eric's eyes flutter open. He offers her a faint smile. "Good morning, my honey bear," he whispers. Donna forces a smile back, brushing her fritters gently through his hair. "How are you feeling?" He pauses before answering. That pause tells her everything. "Rested," he says eventually. "More." But Donna hears what he doesn't say. Across city, Ridge is formerly at the Forrester office. He stands alone in the design room, gaping at the mannequins draped in half-finished generalities. He picks up one of his father's old sketches. Bold lines, elegant structure, unmistakably Eric. The artificer is dateless. Ridge exhales sluggishly. For the first time in times, he allows himself to consider commodity. He has long avoided the possibility of losing his father. That aloud unsettles him deeply. Brooke enters still, seeing his mood. She doesn't speak right down. Rather, she walks up behind him and rests her hand against his reverse. "You're allowing about him," she says vocally. Ridge nods. "I pushed him," he admits. "I allowed. I was challenging him. Perhaps I was hanging him." Brooke tilts her head. "Your father has always thrived on competition." "Yes," Ridge replies. "But perhaps this wasn't about competition. Perhaps it was about fear." Brooke studies him. Fear of what? Being replaced. The word lingers. At Spencer Publications, Bill stands at the window overlooking the megacity skyline. His mind is intent on figures this morning. It's on character, on heritage, on how snappily a power move can helical out of control. Katie enters with a brochure in hand, but she can tell incontinently that Bill is detracted. "You're allowing about Eric," she says. Bill doesn't turn around, however. The media will tear this piecemeal. If he collapses before launch, Spencer pushes fashion icon too far. That's the caption. Katie sighs. "Is that what you're really upset about?" Bill eventually turns. "I do'n't want him hurt, Katie. But this assiduity doesn't slow down for anyone." Katie's expression hardens slightly. Perhaps it should. Back at the manse, Eric insists on going downward to his design table. Donna hesitates but follows him nearly, like a shadow ready to catch him if he stumbles. He sits in front of his sketches. The lines that formerly flowed painlessly now feel heavier. He studies the delineations not with excitement, but with prostration. Donna places a mug of tea beside him. "You do'n't have to do this moment," she reminds him gently. "I need to," he replies. "However, it's over. If I stop now." She crouches beside him. "Over doesn't mean forgotten." He looks at her, really looks at her, and for a moment the bravado slips. "What if it does?" he asks still. "What if the world moves on and doesn't look back?" Donna's heart cracks at the vulnerability in his voice. "The world might move on," she says vocally. "But your family wa'n't." Just also there's a knock at the door. "Ridge." Donna stiffens slightly. Eric straightens in his president, artificially putting on emotional armor. Ridge walks in cautiously, not as the bold CEO, but as a son. "How are you?" Ridge asks. "Fine," Eric replies automatically. Ridge studies him. "Dad, I'm not then to fight." Eric's aspect sharpens. "Also, why are you then?" "To fix this." Eric leans back sluggishly. "Fix what?" "Us." The word lands between them. Donna way away. Seeing this moment belongs to father and son. Ridge takes a deep breath. "I do'n't want you proving anything to Bill. Or to me. You do'n't have to." Eric's pride flickers again. "I'm not proving anything." "Yes, you are," Ridge counters gently. "And I suppose you're exhausting yourself doing it." Silence stretches. Eric's eyes drift to his sketches. "I erected Forrester from nothing," he says. "Every slip-up, every confluence. And also one day I looked around and realized I wasn't the one steering presently." Ridge's voice softens. "You tutored me to steer." Eric's jaw tightens. "And perhaps I wasn't ready to let go of the wheel." Ridge way closer. "Also do'n't let go fully. But do'n't drive yourself off a precipice moreover." Donna watches the exchange, hope fluttering cautiously inside her. Ridge continues. "Come back to Forrester. Not to contend. To unite. We can produce commodity together, one final collection that celebrates you. Your heritage. Without deadlines suffocating you." Eric absorbs the offer sluggishly. Meanwhile at Spencer, Bill receives a call from a supplier demanding evidence on the launch timeline. He assures them everything is on track, but mistrustfulness creeps into his voice. Katie overhears and approaches him subsequently. "You're stalling," she notes. "I'm buying time," Bill replies. "For Eric." "For us," he says. Katie crosses her arms. Perhaps it's time we admit this cooperation wasn't about fashion. Bill smirks noiselessly. It was about shaking up the Forresters. And now, she presses. Bill pauses. Now it's about not getting villains in someone additional's necrology. Back at the manse, Eric stands sluggishly and walks toward the window. His breath catches slightly, but he hides it. You want me to come back? He says to Ridge.